And then there was a resisting arrest, search and transportation charge, February 2024. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 4892.
White right pointing backhand index, here we go again, folks. Another case on the docket, but this isn't just any case. It's loaded with history, bursting with drama, and fueled by a courtroom showdown that'll push the limits of justice and mercy. Strap in. This ride's about to get wild.
State of Texas versus Carlos Gallardo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Michael DeLeon for Mr. Gallardo.
And are you Mr. Gallardo?
Yes.
All right, you entered a plea to count one of no contest on July 29th. This was set for sentencing today. The court had found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court deferred finding of guilt as you had applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state proceeded on count one.
White right pointing backhand index, quick breakdown. When there's a cap of 10 years, it means the judge can't go over that limit. Anything less is still on the table. Think of it like bowling with bumpers. You might hit the rails, but you're not flying out of the lane.
Punishment was to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The state opposes your application for community supervision or deferred adjudication. They were taking in consideration 2024 CR 3341, 72840, 728-402, and there's to be restitution for drug testing. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state? Defense?
I mean, they've misspelled Mr. Gallardo's name a few times, but otherwise, nothing factual.
All right. Does anyone have any witnesses, state? Defense?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right. State, you are opposed. Why are you opposed? Just 1 second. Guys, I'm on the record. Okay, sure. All right, you may continue. All right, defense.
White right pointing backhand index, hold up a sec. The defense's pitch is pretty clear. Don't cage him. Help him. But here's the real question. When someone's record is stacked with priors, do they still earn another shot at rehab? Or is it finally hammer time in court? Drop your thoughts below.
Judge, Your Honor, Mr. Gallardo does have a criminal history in his past. The problem with Mr. Gallardo is in the past, he's constantly never gotten drug treatment. He's gone to prison before for similar deals, but the thing is that the PSI states he doesn't want to have drug treatment. He wants to get help. We can send him to prison today, Judge, and let's just kick him can down the road. We'll need to get him, especially since he's motivated to get treatment. We're asking the court.
Mr. Harrell, are you driving?
Grant him deferred adjudication, put him in any type of drug treatment program that the court feels would assist him in that. And obviously, that could be a lockdown facility or whatever the capital value would recommend. But we're asking for that opportunity for him to be able to get drug treatment so this behavior doesn't repeat for the rest of his life. And that's what's going to happen if he doesn't get treatment. If he messes up, and I've told this to my client, Mr. Gallardo, before, if he's granted deferred, if he's put on and he messes up, the court can sentence him to prison for a maximum amount of time. With that big hammer over his head, Your Honor, we're asking for deferred adjudication and allow him to have that opportunity to get drug treatment. And Mr. Gallardo does want to make a brief statement to support about why he wants to be on probation.
All right, Jim, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up. State your name for the record, please. All right, defense, do you have any questions for him, or he just would like to make a statement?
My one question for you, Mr. Gallardo, is tell the court why you feel like...
White right pointing backhand index, that's as real as it gets. Is laying it bare. Drugs weren't just a vice. They were his way of coping. But here's the tough reality in court. Emotions and apologies don't wipe the slate clean. Judges deal in evidence, not empty words.
If you're placed on probation, why you could be successful, why you want to be on probation.
I need help.
Tell the court more. What do you need help for?
Drugs. Always, I use, when I would use drugs, I used it like as it was, Ritalin, to cope with basically with life.
You're talking about like self-medicating?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
I started since last year.
Okay. And do you feel like if you got drug treatment that would help?
Yes.
Anything else you want to tell the court before the court decides what your sentence should be?
Yes. I just need help and continue my life, try to better myself than what I was doing before.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
State, any questions?
Yes. So you were convicted of aggravated assault on a family second. Is that correct? You had an assault in the United States.
Yeah.
You were convicted. You received actually deferred adjudication of 7 years back to 2017 at first. So you were on probation for that case. Is that correct?
Yes.
And actually, before that, you have probation out of Medina County for aggravated assault on a family with a weapon.
Yeah.
And you were revoked off that probation. Also, you received probation for that. You were revoked off that.
I don't remember. I don't know if that one was for over here or Medina.
Well, from PSI, it states that you were convicted. You have probation, you were convicted and sentenced to the Texas Department of Corrections for 4 years for that case. And then also the assault and violence here in Garrett County, you were given probation, deferred actually, then you were revoked very close to that date of the previous one in Medina County, sentenced to 6 years in the Texas Department of Corrections. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't remember. That far back about my past and stuff. I had forgot about a long time ago.
Thank you for the question.
All right. So, Mr. Gallardo.
White right pointing backhand index, and here's the gut punch. Probation after probation, chance after chance, everyone wasted. This is exactly why prosecutors push back against leniency. We're not looking at a slip-up here. It's a cycle. And if there's one thing courts despise, it's cycles.
The court has reviewed the PSI report, and the PSI report shows your criminal history. I'm not even going to consider your juvenile history because sometimes people are young, they do foolish things. But you were given probation for possession of marijuana April 3rd, 2007, and you ended up being revoked. Now, I'm assuming that when you're given probation, if you have a drug problem, alcohol problem, mental health problem, they will give you conditions to address that. Then in December 2007, you were given deferred adjudication for assault, bodily injury, marriage. Then in April, I'm going to discount the April 2016 offenses because they were dismissed because you were convicted of something else. And then there was a resisting arrest, search and transportation charge, February 2024, that was taken in consideration. Then when we get to the felony cases, April 24, 2016, you had an assault family second and you were given deferred adjudication. I'm assuming it's 2016. People know when people need drug treatment, mental health treatment, they offered you that. And what ended up happening is you were revoked on that. So that means that you did not successfully complete it. Then You have this instant offense. This is just in Bexar County. Then out of county, in Medina, from 2008, you have another assault, bodily injury family. Then you have an attempted resisting arrest, search, or transportation. Then in 2009, you have an aggravated assault, dating, family, household with weapon. You were given probation on that, and you were revoked. So I don't think
Stop it. Get some help.
you're a good candidate for probation. So I'm not going to grant your application. I'm going to find you guilty. Does anyone wish to speak to the cap?
Judge would request something more reasonable, like 5 years.
All right. Court is finding you guilty. The court will give you credit for any time served. I'll request the Therapeutic Community Mental Health Unit for you. Take in consideration 2024 CR 3341, County Court 14, cause number 72840. 728402. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent, restitution of $121 to SAPD for drug testing.
White right pointing backhand index. And just like that, the gavel drops. 10 years. Not because a judge ignored him, but because the weight of his past drowned out his words. Gallardo asked for help, for a shot at treatment. Instead, the court saw a record too long, a history too loud. Harsh, arguably. Surprising? Not at all. So, was this justice doing its job, or a system closing the door on someone it decided was already lost?
And I'm going to assess your punishment at 10 years in the prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Gallardo, here's the thing. If you come back in the state of Texas with another criminal charge that is a felony, one or two things are going to end up happening. Either you're going to be tagged as a habitual, which means your minimum sentence will be 25, depending on the alleged offense. If it is a state jail felony, maybe you're looking at 2 to 20 years. It all depends. If you want to spend the rest of your life in prison, you can. Guess what? People talk about, oh, the Bexar County Jail is overcrowded. Oh, the Texas prisons are overcrowded. Guess what? They can always find money to build another jail, and they can always find room to put you in a cell. And then you can file whatever human rights violation you think are being violated. You can file that, but they're not going to let you go because the jail is overcrowded. They're going to find a place for you, even if it's standing or sleeping in the hallway. You understand? All right, good luck to you.